video, we'll take a further look into the Draw Inside function in Illustrator to add unique textures and brush strokes inside our font. Here's a finished example of what that could look like. To do this again, I'll first select my Type tool, click, write my name, or anything else that you'd like to write. Click my Selection tool, make this larger, center it or put it wherever I'd like to, and then keep this bounding box around your text. Now with your text selected, you'll bring your attention down here to the different drawing functions. We have Draw Normal, which if I took a pen and scribbled on it, it would just go anywhere. Draw Behind. So if I took my pen or pencil or paintbrush tool, it would draw behind my text, keeping my text in the foreground. And then we have our Draw Inside function. You can tell that it's Draw Inside because there's these little dashed lines at the edges of our already established bounding box. I'm going to deselect this area by hitting Shift-Control-A. That will still let me enable the Draw Inside function, but it will keep our choices from not immediately showing up on our text before we want them to. First I'll choose a, I'll keep black. I'll choose a stroke color, so what I want my paintbrush color to be. I'll choose like a blue. And then I'm going to choose a paintbrush or style of paintbrush. I'll go up to my brush tool, which is right here, or you can access it by clicking B. I will also click the brush definition picker area. It's defaulted to 5-point round, but if I click my library button down here to the bottom left, I can see a bunch of different libraries of brushes. So if you want artistic, these are kind of textures that you would see in more traditional drawing and painting media. We have charcoal, paint brushes, different kinds of watercolor brushes. If I chose that, I can kind of preview what these brush strokes would look like. If I choose one that, if I found one that I like, I can click it. I can always go back and look at more types of brushes. There's lots of different ones, not as many arguably as what Photoshop has, but it's still pretty extensive. So I'll choose this watercolor brush for now. Maybe I'll up the stroke, see what 2-point will look like. And then I'm going to draw with inside of my letters and wait for that to come up. If I didn't like that, if I wanted the stroke to be smaller, I can undo it by clicking Control-Z, bring my stroke down a little bit, and do it again. Oops. There we go. I like that. Let's say I want to do another watercolor wash, but this time I want a 0.5 stroke, and I want to change the color. You can do this as many times as you'd like. Maybe I'll, oops, clicking my brush tool, I'll kind of go in a different pattern. You can be more precise than I am with this if you want to. There we go. Maybe I want to choose something else. I like, there's city. Let's try that. And get as different with this as you want to. 1 point is fine. Let's draw a line here. Way too big. Let's try 0.125. So I've put a city within my text. I'm going to redo that, and then I'm going to hold down Shift to make my line straight while I click and drag to make this kind of more of a believable horizon line. So now this is really getting pretty unique. And what else can I do? let's just choose something like this. It kind of looks like clouds. I'm going to double click here, choose kind of a light blue color. All right, 1 point is fine. Let's say I want this to kind of fade in with other things I have already up here. I can drop my opacity level of this stroke down to 43%, so that it's kind of translucent. I can kind of see my previous strokes underneath it. So there you have it. Here's just one of the many different things that you can do with Illustrator's Draw Inside function. If I chose Draw Behind, we could create texture, shapes, brush strokes behind our text as well. Let's just quickly see what this does. I want to kind of make like a grass. That is way too big, so we'll redo that. Bring this down. Undoing things is only a Control-Z away. 0.25. Zoom in here. I forgot that my opacity was down, so I want to bring that back up a little bit. A lot bit, rather. And let's try this again. So I can draw inside and then draw behind my text. Oh, those are people walking. Okay, that's kind of cool. Well, let's just try this one more time. There we go. So that's how you can use Draw Inside as well as Draw Behind to have control over what you do with your text project.